Hey guys, it's TheGameFaceHD and welcome back to a new series that I am calling The Tactician. Now, basically this series is quite complicated to explain, but hopefully once you do understand what it is about, it will be pretty good, I'm hoping. And basically it's about using tactics in order to win games. Now you've got to be able to do this, you've got to take it actually quite seriously, and some people might go, well, it's just a game, you know, play it like you normally would. But if you really want to win games, you actually have to take it quite seriously and do things that you would actually do in real life in order to win games. Now first of all, I'm going to talk you through my team, and basically why I've composed this sort of team. First of all these players are untradeable. Now I have barely any coins left due to Team of the Year. Every single player here is untradeable, thanks to EA, who gave me like 7 free packs because of some issue. And yeah, so all these players I've got from packs, and I've not spent any coins on any of them. So I'm pretty happy with them. But I'm going to talk you through the team. Now you're probably thinking, why is he there? Why is he playing in certain positions? Now, Tim Krul, a nice solid goalkeeper to start off with. I'm not going to go too in depth on these players, but basically he's a nice solid goalkeeper. You don't really need much from your goalkeeper as long as you do the defensive side of the game really well. Now Kyle Walker, very pacey, can help back in defence, can also attack a bit as well on the overlap. Koscielny got a good bit of pace. Defending's pretty good as well, so that always helps you at the back. Now Robert Huth, you're probably thinking, what the hell are you doing with this guy? I didn't have many options. I don't have that many untradeable centre-backs in my club. Per Mertesacker was the other option. Robert Huth has a little bit more pace. He's also a very physical player and actually plays really well. Genuinely surprised. I came up against Messi, Neymar and Bale, all in sort of the 3 in attack type formation, and we actually managed to keep a clean sheet. Sorry, no, we didn't keep a clean sheet. It ended up 4-1 to us though, after conceding the first goal. Robert Huth dealt with Messi really well. He's one of the key players in the team. Felipe Luis was just there to fill a gap really, but he's a good player. Paulinho and Wanyama, 2 of the main players in this team really. I just get them to sit in front of the team and control things and really just defend and let these front 4 just attack. Nasri tucks in very nicely as well when you need to. Same with Sanchez, he can obviously attack very well, he's got some good pace. Cabela also links up with Lukaku very well. We can also actually go back into this midfield area and defend nicely. His strength is better than I thought. He can just tuck in and play really well. Lukaku gives you something at the top. He's a target man, isn't he? But he also has pace, he also can shoot, and he's also pretty good at dribbling. So he's really a target man. Everything's coming to him. He's holding the ball up and waiting for the wingers to get past him. And that is the way I really play with this team. First of all though, you want to make sure that your fitness is good if you're using a team similar to mine. Now, the reason for this is I require a lot from my team. I'm always getting them to sprint everywhere on the pitch. So ideally every 2 or 3 games you do want to be getting a fitness card for them. Now for some people that might be a bit excessive. For others, maybe not excessive enough. But let's get into this game, and I don't know what's coming up here, so I've got no idea what sort of team I'm coming up against. But it's all about adapting to what team you're coming up against, and really deciding on your tactics as soon as they pop up. So yeah, let's get into a game. Right, so I've eventually found one. This is the team he has got. 85 rated, Van Persie, Rooney, David Silva, Hazard. First impressions, he's got Matic, a very key player in that team. Courtois is going to be difficult. He's got Kyle Walker. Matic sitting in front of that defence is really going to help him, and it's going to be difficult to get past them. They are very attacking though, so if we maybe sit back on them a little bit to start off with, we should have an interesting game here. David Silva and Hazard aren't particularly big players and maybe could be quite weak though. We can also get down the wings as well because they're going to be constantly attacking us from the wings. But first of all, we'll just keep it nice and settled going into this game. We don't want to concede within the first 10 minutes really. If we do, then we can't panic about this. First of all, I am going to say I'm not going to win every single game. It's impossible to do something like that. I'm not going to keep a clean sheet every single game either. It does happen, you make mistakes. I'm not a professional at this. Already we've gone 1-0 up though. That was purely luck, there was nothing tactical about that. It was bad defending, so really it's nothing I can kind of brag about, to be honest. But good start anyway to this game nevertheless. And basically here you can just see his defence has pushed miles too forward, and we've just allowed a little gap to open there for Lukaku. And it's little things like that that you can actually do by accident. I wasn't really doing anything there, to be honest with you. I was just trying to press him early on. And now you just want to sit your your centre mids back a little bit and allow Lukaku, if I can get hold of him there, to just basically completely outstrength them as soon as they charge at us, if that does end up happening. And Lukaku's not managed to win it back. There he has. That is exactly what you've got to go for there. You've got to make sure your strike is running back at that point and winning the ball back for you. Little flick through, wasn't able to find Cabela. We just kept the possession really nicely there, but Wanyama's a bit out of position. I'm feeling a bit of a formation change, I think, here, just to kind of make sure defensively everything's all right. Make sure that we don't pass it around the back too much. There's nothing wrong with passing it around the back. We've got to make sure that if you do that, that you actually get it up the field. You can't just be passing it around that back four all the time. You've got to get it up the field somehow. And the offside trap's also going to be key for us as well. I can occasionally be known to push my defensive a little bit too much and dive in a bit. You've got to kind of just see some attacks out and hopefully make sure they don't score from them. That one like that could have easily gone in if the power was good enough on it, but we are kind of lucky on that one, I suppose, that he didn't hit it particularly well. We are going to have a bit of a formation change already. Now, tactically, this is down to the fact that we don't really have anyone sitting particularly. Them CDMs are actually pushing a bit further forward than I would like, so we're going to have Wanyama, who is naturally a CDM, playing there, Sanchez playing right mid, so not quite as attacking, and Nasri on the left, Cabela just in front, and we've got a little bit of a target man going on there with Lukaku. Now, main thing to remember really from goal kicks is you want to play it to your target man. He is the ideal place to obviously hit it, and hopefully Cabela or maybe Paulinho picks up on his header. Alright, so here goes. I'm not saying it's going to definitely work, but if it does, it can be quite nice. See, it's gone right back past our midfield there. Wanyama's pushed too far forward, and we've really just got to try and wait till the defence gets back here. Huth doing pretty well. We were lucky then to keep hold of that. Slowly progress up the field. Don't rush things. We are in the lead. You can't be complacent here. Lukaku goes through and scores for us 2-0. You see, we've managed to absorb all their attacks in the last few minutes. In fact, they haven't really had that many attacks, but they've had a bit more of the ball recently. And there we've just held onto the ball a bit longer and played a good ball through. And Lukaku's just outstrengthened their defence, really. And we are winning 2-0. Again, just dropping my CDMs back. In fact, so Cabela's not even a CDM, he's a centre mid. But we'll drop him back there anyway. Get hold of Lukaku, maybe. No. You see, we've let them get through a bit here. Get Wanyama to just bring him down. Sometimes you've got to have tactical fouls. I'll be talking about them maybe a bit more in depth in another game. I won't be needing them as much, I don't think, in this one, because they've not had as much of the ball. But tactical fouls really can be quite helpful. Just take a yellow card sometimes and allow your defence and the whole team really to get behind the ball. I've allowed him through and he's missed. We get lucky. Part of this really is down to luck. I wasn't particularly good there at defending. We dived in a bit too much. I didn't get Wanyama to drop as much as I'd have liked to, and there we just let him have the ball back, which is okay because it wasn't in our half at the time. They're causing us a few issues here, but need to make sure my Lukaku's getting back in time. What is happening here? There we go. Eventually we got there. Let's just calm things down a bit. They've started to attack us a little bit more now. We just need to calm down the tempo a little bit and hopefully try and progress a bit further up the field. You might have noticed that I haven't been pushing my fullbacks up that much. You can see Kyle Walker coming up a bit now, but I don't really want to leave our defence too exposed like this on the counter-attack. Sanchez is going to get back and just fill in. This also kind of proves you don't need to have the fanciest team. This is just a team full of players that aren't really worth that much. I haven't even bought them, they're just in my club. But really, you don't have to play. You don't have to have that many coins to be able to have a good team. Now, that was just a good save from Cruel. Then we're gonna have to try and defend this corner. Good save again, and out that time. I think I didn't really put Koscielny enough in the box, to be honest with you there. Maybe I should have done, looking back on that one. So you've also got to kind of line up your defenders with people who are good at heading and ones that aren't good at heading. And it really depends on what player you've got and what player is marking as well. You can see there, Cabela just a minute ago managed to win the header. That occasionally does happen. It's allowed Lukaku through to get his hat-trick. And that is just before half-time. Again, we've not really had that much of the ball recently, but it's just worked out well because we've taken our time and we've actually managed to play the ball through at the right times, and we've got ourselves a third goal here. Again, the defence pushes forward too much. That is really where they are exposed in that defence. That was something I didn't highlight at the start, but that's not actually down to the team, that's actually down to the player himself. So it's all about looking at what the player's doing, and you can see that he's pushing his defence too far forward too much of the time. It's okay to do it every now and again if it works, but he's been doing it too often and it has cost him. Little pass through maybe to Lukaku, who has just dropped his centre-back in a little bit there, which helped him out. And also Courtois was very quick off the line. Good interception. This has left us with a little bit of an opportunity, but we've not managed to do anything from it. No need to rush it too much. Sami Nasri doing a shoot. Good save by Courtois. And Lukaku couldn't win the header to put it back into the box. Let's hope the whistle helps us out here. There we go, it does. And it's half-time, we're winning 3-0. Everything's going to plan. And yeah, look at that for possession. We really have dominated them on possession. We've not had the most shots, but we've also proven you don't need to have the most shots. We've had 3 shots on target, they've had 2, and we've scored 3, and they've scored 0. So if we can keep a clean sheet, that would be brilliant. We're not going to go 5 at the back, 6 at the back, or anything like that. We're going to keep it how we are, because if you do go 5 at the back, you end up inviting pressure on yourself. It's not ideal, really, to have big numbers at the back. We have left ourselves very exposed here. We've not set up quite how I like at kick-off. Again, he's brought his defence a bit out of their line, and we're allowed to just get into these little gaps in between. That's allowed Wanyama through. Wasn't able to get past the next player, and we've thrown a bit too many players forward. Can Cabela get back in time? We should be okay here. You can see with this formation that Wanyama just then filled in that defence and just passed the ball back to the goalkeeper, and that really did help us a lot there, because we left a little bit of a gap. And look what they've gone and done. We might not even score from this, but it doesn't matter, because you can see that tactically we have got that right. I know that I probably shouldn't have dribbled it around the goalkeeper, but luckily it's not a vital goal that we needed. Look at all this space from midfield to get into. He's pushed Kyle Walker really far forward. This time it has worked for him, and it's a good save from Tim Krul. We'll just quickly try and counter-attack him, see what we get of this, if anything, if we've got enough forward, because Kyle Walker's a bit out of position there. He has managed to get back in time, and he is throwing people forward. Oh, that's a bad one. That's going to be a red, I think. I was trying to win it back quickly. And in fact, it might just be a yellow, this one, maybe. No, it's not. It's a red. So now, this is actually a fairly good example. I didn't mean to do this, obviously, but this is a good example of where you've got to adapt your team in order to keep a clean sheet. Now, you can obviously go onto the bench, have a little look who you've got on the bench. That might not be ideal to some people. You might just want to play with what you've got if you don't have enough subs left or anything like that. You really do just have... You've got to have a look what you've got left on your team if you don't have any subs left. In this case, I might look to the bench for a sub, or I might continue to play with 3 at the back. Now, I think the best solution here would be to change formation and bring on Santon, who happens to be on the bench. That wasn't even planned. Now, the player you're looking to get rid of here is going to be one of our centre mids. It's going to be Paulinho in this case, because I do feel that we can actually deal with this pressure just by taking one out of the midfield, because we do have Wanyama there and we don't need to attack that much here. So it is a fairly good example of where you can just change the team a bit when you're dealing with a red card. Okay, so Santon has been brought on. If we can keep a clean sheet, that'd be brilliant. I did lose someone to a red card a few games ago, and we ended up staying at like 5-0 or something. We did win pretty convincingly, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue, really. We're just going to make sure that we don't get overrun in that midfield. Beautiful passing between them 3 players then. Oh, where are we going to go here? Santon's kept it. Can we find a little ball through? We can't. Cabela's got it. Through to Lukaku, 4-0. A few minutes after the substitution, a few minutes after the red card, and we are winning 4-0. And this is kind of the point of the series, to show that tactically, if you do get things right, you can win games, even with 10 men, or even with not even the best team, because their team's better than mine. That's obvious to see when it loaded up. And yeah, we're winning at the moment 4-0, and we might even have a clean sheet potentially. Lukaku's got all 4. That is why he's such a vital player in this system. Now what we have to do is drop these players back, because we are looking a little bit exposed when they start the kick-off, due to the fact that Paulinho's obviously left a bit of a gap in that midfield. We are left a little bit... Oh no. And luckily it goes over the bar. We are encouraging shots to be taken from outside the box, you might have noticed, because I am dropping my defence so deep, and I am most of the time keeping my defence so solid that they can't really get through it, to be honest with you. So they are having to play them, have them shots on the edge of the box as opposed to anywhere inside the box. Got a good opportunity here. Hopefully Sanchez can get back and help us out a little bit, but I suppose the other guy actually did help us out more than we expected. And again, we were left with very few at the back. We've managed to deal with it this time. And we'll just play it to Sanchez. We've forced the foul and we've won the free kick. Okay, so now you get a bit of an idea as to what I'll be doing every episode. It will be different for each episode because it's a different scenario each time. It might be the fact that I've got 5 yellow cards one time. It might be that I've got 2 reds. I might be playing against 10 men. Or I might just have a different team with a different formation. Now, I would really like if you could recommend teams. I obviously don't have that many coins, so if you want it to be like a bronze team and how I could manage with a bronze team or a silver team, then just let me know. I've got plenty of bronzes in my club, so that won't be an issue at all. So just let me know what team you'd like me to play with and what tactics you want me to talk about. Here is kind of going a bit mad, isn't it? We've made it 5 now. And yeah, we can basically talk about tactics. The whole series, that is based around what it is, getting you to win games by making even the gaming experience a little bit more realistic by using real life tactics on a game. And it's a very strange thing. Some people might not get it, others might really like it, but like I say, just if you could support this series, drop a like, and we'll be back next episode. That's a big attempt. We're back next episode with some more tactics with a different team as this guy quits out. We don't even win a man of the match there. Do we win a man of the match? I don't think anybody gets man of the match because he quit. And you can see we've just won some coins, which is pretty nice. And the stats, again, don't lie. We've gone on 1. We've not had as many shots, but we don't need that. That is pretty much what I've showed there. We don't need as many shots. If you take your chances, well, then you can go win games. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you have enjoyed this, then please leave a like and subscribe. That'd be really appreciated. Hopefully you understand the point of this series, the fact that we can use tactics to win games even if we don't have a particularly good team. Because if we have another look again at the player ratings so we can see the team, this team isn't magnificent. It's not the best team ever. We've got Robert Huth in the team. It can't be that good. But the actual almost philosophy behind it, if you like, is that we have a target man, you've got pacey players, you've also got players that are quite strong in defence, and you've got an alright goalkeeper. That's all you need. You don't need really anything else than that. And compared to his team, we have such a better team. Look at his bench as well. He's got Xavi on there and a few others. So in fact, if we got his goalkeeper sent off, he wouldn't have been able to put a goalkeeper on the team, which is an interesting one. We'll look at stuff like that anyway in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.